What's happening, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game, your health and fitness coach who specializes in helping women over 40 lose weight without dieting or exercising for crazy amounts of time. And it is Fitness Friday. And we talking about folks being out here in these streets. As you can see, I'm out in the world right now. I'm not at home. So I thought this would be a great time to give you part two of how you can stay fit while you're traveling. You might be like, well, maybe I'm not even fit. Okay, great. How about how you can not gain too much weight while traveling? Does that work? Does that work? Let me know how y'all feeling about that. Let me know, y'all here. I see folks are coming in. Come on in here on this good old Friday afternoon. I hope you have your water because last week I gave y'all 5 tips, right? I gave you 5 ways that you can stay like I said, I say stay fit or like I said, not gain too much weight while traveling. And today I'm going to give you 4 more. So if you want those 4 more, type of 4 in the comments and cheers, drink your water, whether I'm at home, on the road, wherever. I keep a water bottle with me and I hope you're doing the same. All right. So without further ado, and today I would say this last week, when I talked about the 5 different tips, it was all about activity, right? Today, we're going to talk about activity and food. Y'all know I like food. And if you didn't know I like food, now you know. All right. So, giving you 4 tips today. Our very first tip. I like this one so much because it's so real. Now, I talked about last week about, doing active experiences, doing activities, doing walking tours and all of that stuff. But today, my very first tip is for you to engage in local experiences. That's very different. When I'm talking about experiences, I'm talking about the traditional dances, taking martial arts classes, doing the local sports, right? It allows you to like really immerse yourself in that culture of where you are, but being active. So I'll tell you a couple ways that I did it, right? So we talk about local sports. I'll start there. I went to Korea in military, I think in 2000. Must have been 2000, somewhere around there. Okay, whatever it was. But something that they did, they combined, y'all follow me on this. They combined like hacky sack with volleyball. So it was like this little ball, and they had like a little, it wasn't even a net, it was a string that they had. So instead of it being a net where you not, hit the ball over the net, it's a string, and it had to have been maybe 8 inches off of the ground, maybe 12, somewhere around there. But we had this ball. And so we had to kick it over the string slash net. And it was just so cool to be able to play that game with the locals because I have never seen it here in the States. Never. And to this day, it's crazy just talking about it. I realize I haven't seen it anywhere else except Korea. South Korea, of course. But it was just really cool so for anyone who does not know, while I was in Korea, I was in the military. So I was a mechanic in the military. Drink up, y'all. And before work, during our breaks, after work, we noticed that was something that the locals were doing, right? And we're watching and we're like, what is that? And the dope thing about it, I would say this, what I've experienced is that people, and I would say even here in America, in the States, even though I think America's ghetto, one thing people all around the globe are good for, they're really good for embracing tourists, right? If anybody seems interested in learning about a local cultural anything, folks are typically like, come here, let me show you, let me teach you, da, da, da. And that's exactly how it was in Korea, because we were watching on the side, they invited us like, come on in. So now we're kicking around this ball over this little string that's playing like a net that I had never ever thought about doing, right? So that's one way. Man, Another way, y'all already know, if we talking about travel and we talking about cultural experiences, y'all know I gotta bring Africa into it. You know I have to. And when I'm like the cultural dances, the local dance, Africa, y'all, it is in our spirit and in our soul to move our bodies. And there were a couple times that I can think of where I was able to engage and participate in local culture. So the very first time I went to the continent, I went to Zanzibar. And at our resort, every night they had some type of entertainment at dinner. And one night we had a dance troupe. Not say dance troupe just because that's how we describe it. I don't know if that's how they would describe themselves. But it was so dope because our coordinator for the trip, Ashley, in company of Jelani Travel, um, was able to talk to them and say, hey, would you come back to our villa and teach us some of the stuff that you've been doing? And they said, sure. Now we paid for it, tipped them, of course. But they came back to our villa, and I don't remember how long the session was. If any of my sorors are watching who were on the trip, you might be able to remind me. But it had to have been at least 45 minutes, if not an hour, hour and a half, where they taught us these dances. And y'all, it's crazy because I like to dance. A lot of folks like to dance, but it's different when you're learning a dance, one, and two, learning a dance that you haven't done before in the rhythms that they do it, right? Of course, it's in our spirit to dance and to move, but it is different wherever you go. Just like if we're in New York, it's gonna be different from Cali, it's gonna be different from Florida, it's gonna be different from Texas, it's gonna be different from Chicago, right? You're not finna just come up from New York and be footworking in Chicago. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. So, and let me know if I'm lying, y'all. Let me know if I'm lying. But that's how it felt there, right? So we are practicing and dancing, and it got hot and sweaty and funky up in that villa because we were all dancing, but it's a way to stay active and to move, right? We talked about it last week. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with going on vacation. Vacations are really about relaxing, but I do encourage you to include activity and movement because what I don't want y'all to do is come off from y'all trips and be like, man, I came back and I gained 7 pounds. Well, what you do other than eat? Did you walk anywhere? Did you dance? Did you ride a bike? Tell me what you did other than eat. If all you did is eat and lay next to the pool and or beach, what you expect to happen? What you expect? So I'm giving you all things that you all can do, right? When it comes to dance. And then like even last year, no, early this year in Ghana, we playing the drums. When we were in Ghana, then again at the Slave River, after we came back from such an emotionally intense experience, we released that by dancing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you get those opportunities, y'all, traveling, this is my opinion. Traveling is meant to immerse yourself into the local culture, not just feed off of it and take from it. Learn from it, grow, allow it to become part of you, share, right? Because if you enjoyed that place, why not enjoy it to its fullest? Come back and share so that more people can go. Because the more tourists they get, the more they can provide, right? If you love what you saw and you experienced, why wouldn't you want those people to prosper from what you took from it? Yes, get to know the real culture of the place. If they invite you to eat with your hands, do it. If they invite you to take your shoes off and ground, do it. If they invite you to dance, even how can I wait a minute? I didn't forget, but I almost omitted it. Drink some water. And I'm not gonna cry. Like Mary J said, I'm not gonna cry. Right on, Miss Rita. So for anyone who's been following my journey, and anybody who's coming on now, hey, I'm Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game. Earlier this year, just a few months ago in April, I traveled to my home country, of Sierra Leone. And I was able to do that to become a citizen, like whole passport and all the things, because I had my African ancestry DNA done and it traced back to the Timni and the Mende tribes in Sierra Leone. And now I think there are 6 countries who will give you citizenship based on your DNA testing. But at the time, Sierra Leone was the only one because they're like, if your blood comes back here, you are a citizen. You're home. Come on, get it. So out of our trip, out of our group, I was the only one that was both Mende and Timni. So I was able to participate in both ceremonies because for each tribe, when I tell y'all, they welcomed us in, gave us new names. But when we got off the bus, got off the bus one time and pulled up in the boat in the other. When I tell you the amount of dancing that welcomed us, the amount of celebration that welcomed us, and we danced with them. I'm going to say this. Every night, and if any of my Sierra Leonean cousins are watching, hey, y'all, hey. But they would tell y'all every night we went back to the hotel sweaty, stinking, musty, funky, but full of the culture. You know, my husband he does not like to dance. He does not. He does not. But when you come to the Mende naming ceremony and you are Mende and they're dancing and calling you out and they're embracing you, how do you not dance, right? How do you not do that shuffle? So when you are invited into the culture, come on, Miss Rita, come on, Honduras. When you're invited into the culture, do it. Dance. Play the local sport. You know, like y'all tell me, because I don't know, I'm not even gonna act like I do. But where's the place where they're known for like the martial arts dance and stuff? I want to do that. Like I want to do that. If you visit somewhere and that's what they're known for, go for it. If you're visiting, like right now, I'm in Illinois, Southern Illinois. But if I was somewhere and they're like, oh, this area is known for doing yoga in the park, guess what Crystal gonna do? Yoga in the park. Qigong, okay. Qigong, Qigong, I think it is. Okay. That's what we're gonna do. But embrace the local culture. Miss Rita, same way. I will dance all day. You can't stop me. I dance when I hear music. I dance when I don't hear music. I dance when I cook. I dance when I think about food. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move. My husband, not so much. That's not his judge. Now he will dance, you know, every once in a while if I can beg him. But for the most part, that's just not his judge. And I had to appreciate that, right? And respect that. All right. So that's number one. So we talked about movement. Y'all ready for food? If y'all ready for food, type food in the comments because let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because food is the typical issue, point blank in the period, when it comes to a healthier lifestyle for almost everybody, whether you're local, traveling, American, whatever. Food is typically that like, if you get that right, you're gonna soar. If you struggle, you're gonna struggle. I mean, if you struggle, then there's gonna be a problem, right? So let's talk about the food when you're a traveler. I want you to stay mindful of what you choose, right? Just because when you maintain like a healthy diet, a balance. Okay, let's be clear on that. A balance. It's not about restriction because when you're traveling, just like you should embrace the culture when it comes to movement, you should embrace the food. I would be doggone if I'm going to travel and I'm going to go to doggone McDonald's or KFC. I ain't going to lie, I did end up at McDonald's in Egypt just because the bus took us there because y'all we were hungry. It was the coordinator was smart. Shout out to Jay Cameron of Maximum Impact Travel. But he realized, like, look, they've been traveling all morning. They tired. They hungry. We got to make a pit stop somewhere. McDonald's was open. It was closed. We went to McDonald's in Egypt. It happens sometimes. However, When it comes time to an organized meal, I'll be doggone if I am gonna eat some stuff I can get any day around the corner from my house. Same trip in Egypt. Right. Did y'all know outside the pyramids there is a doggone KFC and a Pizza Hut? But guess what? We're not gonna eat KFC and Pizza Hut in Egypt when it's a doggone scheduled and organized meal. Instead, we're gonna eat local because you are supposed to embrace the culture, right? But no matter where you go, I do believe in asking, especially in certain places, like, what are you all known for? What is good here? All of that good stuff. I am down for that. But when you can, try your best to minimize because I'm trying not to get into a tangent. Somebody help me and don't let me get into a tangent. Because the thing is, drink some water. Can I say it? If y'all want me to say it, give me the way you say yes or go for it in the comments. Whether it's 100, be real, whatever. Give it to me in the comments. But I gotta say it real quick. Ooh, you heard that notification. The foods we eat here in the States, come on with them hundreds. Trash. Processed, GMO, all the things. Like they've doggone approved man-made meats to be sold in New York. Anywho, most other countries, that stuff is fresh. It's a like you will see the chicken that you eating was possibly just right outside the door. Polar goat was just running around. Polar sheep was just bad. And you about to eat it. Yeah. They gonna pick those doggone mangoes and avocados straight off the tree. They're gonna freshly juice all of that stuff. So you'll notice that when you travel internationally, the food tastes different because it is different because for the most part it is real. America approves trash that most other countries won't approve for us to eat. But like I said, I digress, right? But even with that being said, there's still the possibility that that food is still made in an unhealthy way, meaning it could still be fried, it could still be dredged in batter and all of that stuff. So, still be mindful of enjoying the local cuisine, but eating those leaner proteins when you can. Still making sure that you get the vegetables. Please get the local vegetables. Please get the local fruits so that you can have that balance. Let me know if that makes sense. If that makes sense, type makes sense in the comments. And if y'all ready for number 3, hit me with a 3 in the comments. Because we're going to pull it on back to movement and your body. All right? I said, yay. So what I want you to do, I want you to find, like last week we talked about different things you do. Like I said, being active, choosing activities and riding bikes and all this stuff. But I want you to, it's not, because I have a thing I call my sneaky workouts. All right. So sneaky workouts, yeah, that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna go with the sneaky workouts. That's what I'm gonna call it today. That's when you find ways to incorporate movement throughout your day, right? So maybe during your vacation, you take let's just say you have a layover at the airport. Instead of just sitting at your gate or sitting at a bar, don't judge the folks who do, walk around the airport, take a good walk. Make sure you're stretching during those long flights. That's something else I do. If it's a long flight, if y'all going international, if your flight is over a couple hours long, you should be getting up every hour walking. And I know people think I'm crazy because I walk the plane. I'm gonna go all the way up one side, go all the way back another, and then when I go to the back there by the flight attendants, now I'm back there stretching. Incorporating that. When you're in your room, do some light exercises. And if you need some ideas, oh, I should have dropped the link in the comments, but you can go to fitnessisnotagame.com and go to shop and click on the cards and get the low impact exercise workout cards. You don't need much. Like I have mine with me now. I will do them in this room. You don't need a lot of space. Finding ways to add movement into your room. And even if you don't have the deck, that's fine. But just finding things you can do. You know you can do some jumping jacks or side jacks. You know you can do some marching in place. You know you can do some push-ups, whether they're modified, regular, off the wall. You know you can do some leg drops. You know you can do some squats. There are a lot of things you can do in your room just to keep moving, or even just jump on the tube and find a quick 10 to 15-minute video. Whether it's stretching, yoga, Pilates, just find something so that you're making sure that you're using your body throughout the day. Let me know if that makes sense. Oh, I am proud. Yay. I am. All right, now let's drink some water before we get to the last one. If y'all ready for number 4, drop a 4 in the comments. And this is key. All of it is important, but this one here may be the most important. When we go on trips, especially trips, even vacations, all the things, when we travel, I don't know about y'all, but I make the best of each trip I go on. And I enjoy the people that I'm with, the people that I meet if I'm not going with anybody, so they can turn into some long nights, right? And if you're on a trip, you may or may not be able to sleep in the next day because, you got a schedule. Vacations are different. Vacations, you're just going to sleep until you feel like it and you get on up, right? But with all of it, you have to make sure that you are prioritizing your rest and recovery. I know sometimes folks be like, sleep is for suckers. Sleep when you dead. We only here for this many days. Da 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 da. Take advantage. Blah blah. We sleep. We get home. Da da da. Let me know if you've ever said that. If you or any of your ratchet family and friends ever said that, yeah, sleep is for suckers. Get up. And I may have been that ratchet friend or family before. I ain't gonna lie. Because I'm one of those people, once I travel, especially if I'm traveling with family or friends that I haven't seen in a long time, because I don't live with some of my friends, like in the same area with my friends. So when I see them, it's like I'm an energizer bunny. They're like, Crystal, go to sleep. And I'm like, I only get to see y'all this many times a week. I mean, a year. And I'm trying to soak it all in. Da, 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 da. But at the end of the day, we still have to be mindful of making sure we get enough sleep, making sure that we allow our bodies to recover and restore themselves so that we can continue to enjoy the rest of the trip. Let me know, child. How many of y'all, can we be honest? Anybody let me know if they're ready to be honest. Because I want to know this. How many of y'all, I'm laughing. It wasn't me, but I know somebody just happened to. How many of y'all couldn't enjoy your whole trip because you kicked it too hard on one of those nights? Let me know. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking about my most recent trip, but I can't think of a trip where by the time our last day came, I was so ready to leave because I wasn't sleeping. I'm hanging out with my friends all night. We drinking all day and night. Getting up in the morning, we moving around, we walking, we in the sun, still drinking our water because y'all know I'm gonna make sure that happens. But when you don't get enough sleep, you're not able to rest and recover to enjoy the entire trip. So what I don't want y'all to do is to miss part of your trip because you didn't give yourself a chance to recover. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. But that's also important because rest and recovery resets your hormones, it resets your muscles, and especially resetting those hormones, it impacts how you eat and when you eat, right? To allow you to continue or possibly lose weight or maintain on a trip, as opposed to those stress levels being too high because your body hasn't had a chance to reset. Because when those stress levels are too high and the cortisol levels are too high, you run the risk of gaining more weight and struggling more when it comes to losing weight. Let me know if that makes sense. All right, y'all. So I know you like, well, vacations are to kick it. I get it. But when you're on these trips, these are the four things, the last four things I want you to do. Yes, you got to reset your mind, body, and spirit. So the four things I want you to do, the additional four things this week that I want you to do to minimize how much weight you gain on a trip, right? One, I want you to engage in local experiences like the dance and the sports, the martial arts. I want you to, number two, be mindful of your food choices. So enjoy the local cuisine, but still be mindful of how you enjoy them, right? And how frequently, right? Number three, I want you to sneak in your workouts, do stuff around your room. Like I said, I love to do squats when I go to the restroom whenever I'm traveling. There are a lot of ways that you can add in movement. And then number four, I want you to make sure that you are prioritizing your rest and your recovery so that you can enjoy the entire trip, but then also allow your body to reset so that your hormones reset so that it does not force you to gain more weight. All right, y'all. This has been Crystal Taylor, Fitness is Not a Game, your health and fitness coach who specializes in helping women over 40 lose weight without dieting or exercising for more than 30 minutes at a time. And I thank you for rocking with me today on our Fitness Friday segment where we talked about how you can stay fit while traveling, AKA not gain too much weight. All right. Y'all be good or be good at it. And I will see y'all next time. All right, y'all. Bye.